Hey guys, it's Penguin here, and welcome back to another goal making video. In this video, this is going to be part 4 of my Shadowlands Profession Mini series, where basically I'm just covering my profit for the past 30 days with a certain profession and kind of breaking down my cost, my profit, and exactly what I'm selling. So this is part 4 of the series. If you haven't seen the other videos and you're interested in a certain profession, I might have already covered it, so I will leave the playlist down below. But, of course, if you guys do enjoy my content, feel free to like the video, and if you love it, then possibly subscribe for more. But without further ado, we are going to get right into this. So today's video is going to be about Inscription, and the reason why I want to talk about this now, even though I've made an Inscription video pretty recently, is because, dare I say, it's probably one of the best professions you can be doing right now, in terms of beginner. The reason for this is Inscription is benefiting off of the 9.1.5 update with the new Druid glyphs that have released, as well as the legendary increases with missive sales. So honestly, if you're somebody who does not craft legendaries and you don't have that big source of income, I highly recommend looking into Inscription. The only tricky thing with Inscription is that generally TSM crafting is all wrong, so you do have to either modify your price sources or use an external spreadsheet. I do have a spreadsheet myself, but plenty of people also have them, and you can also create your own. But right now, Inscription is doing awesome with those Druid glyphs as well as the missives. They are really selling fast on my server. So in this video, we are going to be going off the past 15 days, which is basically the past 2 weeks instead of 30 days. So all of this profit is from the past 2 weeks of selling. So the first item that we have is missives. Now missives is probably the largest gold count on this list, because I have sold so many. In the past 15 days, I have sold 836 missives. Now, like I said before, these are really benefited from the legendary market, because think about it, every time somebody buys a legendary, they also need to buy 2 missives. So whether you're in the legendary game or not, this is a great way to use that market to your advantage by selling these missives. So in the past 15 days, I have sold 836 for a total gold value of about 262,000 gold. Now my crafting cost is about 150 gold each. I did craft most of these before the patch released, so I did have very cheap Death Blossom and Nightshade, but on an average crafting cost about 150 gold, that leaves us with 140,000 gold profit just on these missives. Now, of course, like I said before, if you are doing legendaries, this might not seem like a ton of profit because you're already in those really high markets. But for somebody who's just getting into gold making or have a few professions, this is a great way to utilize Inscription. Also, one downside is the crafting experience with Inscription, because you have to mill, then you have to craft the inks, and then finally you have to craft the items. So it is a long process, but you know, if you work from home, you can have it in the background crafting. If you're going to go make a meal, you can have it in the background before school, after school, before work, after work. If you're taking care of a child, then, you know, when you're dealing with them, then have it AFK crafting. Basically, at any point in time when you can have it AFK crafting, do so, and you will basically just craft these passively. Then the next one we have is the new Druid glyphs. Now, if you are unfamiliar with these, there are 7 new flight forms, and then there's also 1 standard glyph, which basically randomly selects you like a flight/travel form of those 7 and all the other ones you learned. But with those 8 new glyphs/marks released, I currently have 5 of them unlocked, and in the past 15 days, I have been able to sell 36 of them. If you have not already seen these marks, my previous video is actually exactly how to get all of them, so feel free to check that out if you want to get these. Honestly, as long as you have an Inscriptionist, you're guaranteed able to get about 4 of them, or 5 of them, and then, of course, if you have Reputation, you might be able to get all 8. But with that being said, these have been very, very high value at the start of the patch because not a lot of people were crafting them and the demand was high. Now, of course, prices have dropped a little bit. Now I'm selling, instead of selling them for 15,000 each, I'm selling them for 2,000 to 3,000. But profit is still there. And like I said, I've sold 36 of them for about 170,000 gold, which is crazy. And then I have about an 800 gold crafting cost, which brings the profit to 143,000 gold. So this definitely has a ton of profit. Now, over time, this profit margin will fade because I'm no longer getting, 20K, 10K, 15K sales per glyph. But still, as long as I sell, even if I sell at 1,000 gold, that's 150 gold profit, which is super awesome. Also, keep in mind that these are cosmetic items, so they will always sell. Definitely, whenever this expansion is over, people are still going to want those glyphs. So it's a long-term investment, and it's really going to be nice to have. I will put a little bit more screenshots of people in the Discord and other Discords I've seen with having really great sales with these glyphs. So I highly recommend just looking at that, and possibly you could be getting some sales like that too. Of course, keep in mind that all of my data is from a medium pop server. Then the next thing we have is tomes, which is the Tome of Steel Mind. And in the past 15 days, I have sold about 359 of them for about a total of 98,000 gold. Now my crafting cost is about 180 gold a piece, and that means a total profit of about 33,000 gold, which is still super awesome. Tomes, raid nights, they always do the best. Generally, Tuesday night reset is when I'm selling the most of these items. They are pretty slow on my server compared to most servers, but once again, I am on a medium pop, so a lot of my sales will be amplified on a higher pop. Then, lastly, I do want to mention Dark Moon decks. If you guys do not know what these are an eye level 200 trinket, and a lot of people don't think they sell, but they really, really do. The reason for this, if you think about it, people are buying eye level 200 gear to gear up their ults, so if they want a matching trinket to go along with that, they also are going to pick up Dark Moon decks. Now, you do have to make sure that you check your server out, because since I'm on a medium pop server, I generally can get a lot for my decks, anywhere between, 5 to 10K a piece. But on most full pop servers, you might be looking at like 3K normally. So definitely it depends on the server, but Dark Moon decks are still selling. In the past 15 days, I have only sold 6, but that is because that was my leftover stock from just crafting them from a while ago. I currently have 0 of them. I sold out probably about 3 or 4 days ago, and I just currently am not crafting them because I just haven't had time to do so. But once again, it's just a great AFK crafter. If you can make some ink, make some decks, and it can definitely work. I do have an Inscription video about how to make profit with these Dark Moon decks because it's kind of hard to tell if they are profitable. So you can use my spreadsheet in the description. Also, you can check out that video if you want an explanation of it, but I highly recommend looking into it if you can sell them. But in the past 15 days, I've sold 6 of them for a total of about 23,000 gold. My crafting cost is around 2K each, so I've made about 11K profit off of those 6. So like I said before, I can sell these for a pretty high amount, and a lot of people can't. So definitely check out your server before you go and craft a ton of stuff. So that is basically all I sell from Inscription. I do not really sell anything else. There are a few other items which you could sell, but I just currently do not. And so in total, in the past 15 days, I have sold 323,000 gold of profit. So that is awesome in 15 days, basically making a WoW token, or like a WoW token and a half for US, and then a WoW token and a little bit extra for EU. And if we break that down by profit per day, that is about 21,000 gold profit per day just from Inscription. So That is truly, truly awesome. And so if we just want to calculate, because my previous videos are all in 30-day increments, the reason I did 15 was I thought it would be a better representation of the current market because patch released. So if we took that, 300,000 in about 15 days, that means I'm on track to make about 640,000 gold every single month just from Inscription. And that is pure profit. So once again, if we're talking about WoW tokens, that's about 2 WoW tokens and some extra on EU, and that's about 3 WoW tokens and some extra on NA. So that's really awesome. That is simply from one profession. Of course, the always big downside is the crafting time it takes to do this, but like I said, so many of us have a lot of free time, which we probably have our PC turned off, or we're just sitting AFK, or we're just not actively on. So you can use all of that time to kind of AFK craft, and it will definitely add up over time. But that is really it. Inscription, dare I say, is probably one of the best right now. Of course, it does depend on the server, so you're going to want to check it out. It is not worth it for everybody, but somebody who's looking for some extra income, has some extra time to spend, and just wants to make some more gold with this legendary market, and you're not selling legendaries yourself, this is a great way to utilize this patch release. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to get those Druid marks. They are going to be selling probably for the rest of this expansion pretty well, just because they're new, people want them. But without further ado, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like I said before, if you guys really enjoy this content, feel free to subscribe and like this video. It does help me out a lot. Also, comment down below what profession you would like to see next, or what type of videos you want to see in the future. And, of course, have a good day.